Okay, so welcome everybody. It's time for a little bit of yoga. We'll start on our yoga mats today, seated, and do a little bit of breath work. So go ahead and make your way there. So just take the time, maybe wiggle around a little bit. Let yourself find a nice comfortable position in your seat. We want to find neutral spinal alignment, so maybe that means putting a few blocks or a blanket underneath your hips. If you're at home, you can always use a pillow. And just taking a moment here, closing the eyes, and just becoming aware of self, letting go of any external impacts we may have in our day. This is an opportunity, this is a chance, our yoga practice, to kind of be a little selfish with our time. A lot of the times, especially as women, we're expected to be everything to everyone all the time. And so I extend to you this little vacation of time, this 1 hour where you're not responsible for anybody but yourself. Keeping that in mind as we move throughout our asana practice and breathing practices today, let your body dictate what's right. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. This is your practice. And as always, yoga is a practice. It's not perfect. So give yourself permission to be playful, to relax, and to have some fun. So as we settle into our seat, let's just begin here with our breath. Being aware of how your breath is feeling in your body. Becoming aware of where you feel your breath. Maybe you only feel it in the nose and mouth, or mouth as you inhale. Maybe you feel it down the throat or down the esophagus. Maybe you can feel it, the air entering your lungs. Maybe you can feel those lungs expand and contract. As we become more aware of our breath becomes deeper, more complete. And in that depth, the little alveoli of our lungs open up, allowing for more efficient exchange of gases. That's really what breathing is all about. In yogic tradition, we call our breath our prana. It means our life force. And so with each inhalation, feel your life force renewed. And with each exhalation, feel the space, release of things that we don't need. As we move throughout our practice today, we'll return to our breath, allowing the breath to move us, to guide us. And then as you feel ready, let's allow the eyes to flutter open. Allow your awareness to come into your body. Allow your awareness to remain in your breath. And as you feel ready, let's start to just move the body in some gentle circles. As you make these circles with your body, allow yourself to move as deeply or slowly as you like, as small or as big. And then when you're ready, let's return to center. And then move in the opposite direction. Again, maybe this time we start to grow larger in the circles. Maybe we stay nice and small. But the idea here is that we're moving, just starting to wake up our body. And then let's come to center. And we'll walk our fingertips out in front of us, rounding the back, letting the chin tuck. Gently rocking from side to side. Coming back to center, walking the hands in toward the body. And from here, we'll just simply tuck the chin toward the chest, lifting tall through the spine. As we find our chin tucked, you can always interlace the hands behind the head and deepen the stretch. You don't have to if that doesn't feel good. So I'm not pulling, I'm just letting the weight of my arms lengthen the back of the neck. And then release the hands. Inhale, lifting the head back up. Let's walk the hands over to one side to take a twist. Turning to gaze over the back shoulder. And then we'll switch to the other side. Again, taking a nice twist. This isn't deep. This just feels good, like I'm releasing my spine. And then I'll return to center. So keeping my neutral seat, now I'll simply turn and gaze over one shoulder. Find my breath here. And then drop my chin just a little bit. So I'm just adding a slight nod of my head where my chin comes a little bit closer down toward my chest. And then I release all the way down to center. Inhale, lifting the head back up. Exhale, turn on the other shoulder. Check that the shoulders are relaxed and pulled. Shoulder blades are pulled together, settled in to your shoulder pockets. And then just take that slight nod down. You'll know when you've found it. And then release all the way through center. Inhale, lifting the head to neutral. We'll plant one hand on the mat. Take the opposite arm up and over. Now I'm pressing my hip down as I extend through my fingertips. Breathing here. And then I'll switch to the other side, planting fingertips. Reach arm up and over. And then inhale, lifting back up. Now I'll take an ear to my shoulder. I'll press through my palm. So my palm is extended. My fingertips are lifting toward the sky. And I'm just gently going to raise my arm a few inches at a time. This is to help initiate nerve gliding. Sometimes it feels a little tingly. But the purpose of this is to not only to have the nerve glide within the myelin sheath, but also to welcome and wake up those nerve endings. Sometimes they need a little reminder. So let's switch sides. Ear drops to shoulder, press through palm. And then gently rise and come back down. It's a very small movement as I continue to press through the palm of my hand. And then release back down. Come back to center. We'll walk our fingertips back and just lift up through the chest. And then release. Releasing the legs. If you're sitting on something, you can go ahead and move that off to the side. And we'll just start to gently windshield wiper those legs. In my windshield wipering, I'm making sure that my knees stay safe and supported. So I'm not torquing on them at all. I'm letting the movement initiate from my hips. My ankles are staying rather fixed as I roll on the back of the heel. And then come back to center. Extend your legs out in front of you and just tap them on the mat. Windshield wiper just your feet, really pressing in through the heels. And then walk yourself up. We're going to bring ourselves to all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. I'm just going to check to make sure nobody else needs to be let in before we keep going. So the music's too loud, so I'm just going to go ahead and mute the music. So as we come around, we'll bring ourselves to knees and wrists. Tuck the tail around the back, chin to chest. And then as we inhale, lift the tail, moving one vertebrae at a time. So as we move back and forth, cat-cow, notice where you're feeling tightness. Notice if you're feeling tension, but also notice where you feel really good. And see if that really good feeling can spread to other parts of your spine. Then when you're ready, return to a nice neutral spine. Really activate through that core, pressing the hands and shin into the mat. We'll start to slide the right leg back. So I'm just gliding it back to my toe of my right foot. Keeping that right toe tucked under, I'm going to rock back and forth. So I start to feel a warmth in my calf and through my toes. My core stays super supported as I rock back and forth. And then return to neutral, wrists under shoulders. Start to lift that right leg behind me, pressing through that right heel. Toes are turned down. Bending right knee as I exhale. Nose comes toward me. Inhale, head and heel lift. Exhale, round back. Inhale, lifting. So just moving with breath. The next time you lift, head and heels, stay there. Release over to the right hand. See if the left hand can reach back for that ankle. If it finds it, press the shin into the hand. If it doesn't find that ankle, you just stay here. Good. Release down. We'll sit back into a quick child's pose. Rest the arms next to body, forehead on mat. Open and close the hands. Release tension in those wrists. So just open and close. Maybe do some wrist circles. Then when you're ready, extend back up. Returning to all fours, we'll go back into cat-cow. This time in our cat and cow, let's be a little bit playful. So maybe we add a little circle to the hips. Our breath may not necessarily guide the exact movement, but we're still finding our breath in our movements. Those places that maybe needed a little extra care and attention, here's where you can attend to them. Maybe the places that feel really good, you can really get into those places. This is all about your practice. Then when you're ready, let's return to neutral. So once again, press hands and shins into the mat like you're going to leap off of the mat. Shift the weight to the right leg and start to slide the left leg back. My toe tucks under, and then just like I did on the other side, I start to rock forward and back, saying, hello toes, hello calves. For some reason, my calves are super tight. I honestly have no idea why. And then when you're ready, come back to neutral. Keep that right shin pressing in. Extend the left leg. Press through heel and then bend that knee. So make sure you're not leaning over to the right. We're staying square through the body. Exhale, knee and nose come together. Inhale, heel and head lift. So we're moving with breath. And then the next time you lift heel and head, stay there. This time shift weight to left hand, right hand reaches back. If you find that, clasp it. See if you can press against it to open through the front of the right shoulder. Breathe. And then release down. So this time, tucking our toes, sitting back on those heels. Walk your fingertips forward, hands or shoulder width apart. Let's just do a quick alignment check as we rock forward. Our wrists are underneath shoulders. And then as we keep tucking those toes, press hips up and back to move to our first down dog. Let's go ahead and pedal those heels. Feeling that length, letting your hips also sway, maybe side to side. Shake the head no, keep tension out of neck and shoulders. And then really pressing that tail up. Let head dangle down. Gazing up to the hands. We'll take the left foot all the way up to the hands. Releasing down to that right knee, so uncurl those toes. As we exhale, rock back. Feeling hello hamstring, inhale. Rock forward, heart and head lift. So we're just moving with our breath. Our back also gets a little mini cat-cow. Now the next time you rock forward, stay there. Walk hand up, left thigh, right arm lifts to sky. We'll go bowling. Exhale, pinky leads. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, go bowling. Inhale, lift. Now the next time that arm reaches to sky, stay there. Sink the hips down and then reach that right arm up and to the side. So I'm really breathing into my right side rib. Check that the left knee stays over that ankle. If you need to, you can always scooch those toes forward. Inhale, coming back up. Right elbow to top or outside of knee. So this is our second twist of the day. Maybe go a little deeper. Check in with the breath. On the inhale, come back to neutral. So we're going to take our arms to the sky, letting ourselves open, and then bring ourselves into cactus. So I have a slight back bend happening, or think of it as a chest opener. Now reaching my hands back behind me as if I was holding a beach ball. I have the option of bending my right knee. So if you want to try bending that right knee, rock forward, frame that left foot, and see what happens if you bend that right knee. If your body needs extra padding, always feel free to fold up your yoga mat. I'm going to reach my right hand back. Maybe I find my shin. Or I have both hands back. Either way. Good, releasing down, tucking right toe under, stepping back to down dog. From my down dog, I check in with my body, check in with my alignment, hand, shoulder width, feet hip width apart. And then as I inhale, I lift myself into plank, kneeling or full. Exhaling back to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Next time we find plank, we'll stay there and pause because it feels so good. You can drop to the knees. We're going to do some shimmying of those hips. So just either heels, drop side to side, or if you're on your knees, you're just shifting from side to side. Good, come back to center. Hips up and back, returning to down dog. This time we'll take our right foot forward to the hands and lower down to left knee. As I exhale, rock back. As I inhale, rock forward. So make sure this is your opposite side. Moving with breath. The next time you rock forward, go ahead and stay there. Check right knee is over ankle, walk hands up thigh, left arm lifts. Let's go bowling. So that left pinky leads. Inhale, lift up. This is just about functional movement as it is about keeping your shoulders supple and ready for bowling, because you never know. You're ready to lift those arms up to sky, sink hips down, and then reach up and away. Bowling alleys were like the first thing to open in Georgia. So if that's an indication of how important bowling is to this country, you should be checking your bowling form. We're breathing into that left side body. Sorry for the terrible joke. Inhale, coming back up. Left elbow to top or outside of that right knee. So as we take this twist, lengthen your spine. Turn and gaze over that right shoulder. When you're ready, come back to center. So, we're going to bend. Actually, we'll come back up first. Let's come back up, lift our arms up to sky, almost like we're reaching backwards, and then come into cactus. So it's a slight back bend, not a deep back bend. Good, now we release those hands down to see what happens if we bend our left knee. Now, one side may not bend. You might sometimes have to get, I call it the meaty part, the top of the knee is what should be on the ground. If the bony part's on the ground, it won't work at all. So bending that left knee if you'd like, reaching back with one or both hands, always your choice. You don't have to hold on to that foot if you don't want to. Breathing into the pose. Good, releasing down, framing right foot, step back to down dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, this time we'll find chaturanga. Elbows hug ribs, you can come to your knees. And then as we inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Good. Tuck toes back to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Baby cobra. And one more time. This time we'll stay in our baby cobra. Let your breath guide you there. So once you've found your baby cobra, draw the heart forward. Press through the back of the head to the sky. So we're thinking about lengthening through the whole spinal column. We're not torquing on that neck. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then from here, when you're ready, press yourself back into child's pose. Let the arms rest next to the body, forehead on mat. If child's pose isn't comfortable, feel free to find any modification that works for you. Maybe stacking the hands, maybe bringing the knees a little bit wider. Child's pose is about restoring yourself. So let yourself restore. Find your breath. Imagine me pressing one hand into your low back and one hand into your mid back and just finding a little length in that space. And then when you're ready, extending the arms out in front of you once again. Hands are shoulder width apart, tuck your toes, find down dog, and then slowly walk those feet forward into Uttanasana, first forward fold of class. Our hamstrings are fairly warm though, so let this forward fold be whatever you need it to be. Head is relaxed. Upper body is supported on something. Feet are shoulder width apart. Maybe a little narrower, maybe a little wider. It's always up to you. And then when you're ready, soften knees, reverse swan dive. Use that core to bring yourself up to standing. As hands come down through heart center. Pause here and let's take a quick cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale with that big ha. Good. Inhale, sweep those arms back up to the sky. As we exhale, let's hinge over to one side. Good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hinge to the other side. Inhale, come back up. We'll take our right arm forward, left arm back as we rotate to one side. Keep the hips as square as you can. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, this time, right arm forward, left arm back. Oops, opposites. Inhale, coming back up. Now this time as we exhale, hinging forward, finding Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift to monkey. And then as we exhale, let's step our right leg back. Big step with that right leg. I'm going to swivel my right heel down to a 45-degree angle or so and windmill my arms up to open in warrior two. My heel comes to the arch or the heel of my back foot. Gazing past those left fingertips. So let's turn the left palm up, right hand to hip. Reach up and over. So my legs are staying in my warrior. My left bicep is coming toward my left ear. Good, return to warrior two, bend left forearm. Bring that forearm down to thigh. And as I come down, I want to sink my hips maybe a smidge deeper. Scissor or rainbow that right arm up and over. Both are fine, just whatever's best for your shoulder joint. Gazing up underneath the right arm. Utthita Parshva Uttanasana, extended side angle. Releasing hands down to a frame, left foot step back to down dog. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, back in to your down dog. And this time we will step right foot up to hands and swivel that left heel down. As you feel ready, windmill those arms up and open to your warrior two on this side. So again, double check with your feet. My front foot is bisecting my back foot. Gazing past my right fingertips. Shoulder blades are together, sinking down. Right palm lifts up, left hand to hip. Reverse warrior. Bending right forearm to come down to that thigh. Take the left arm up and over, extended side angle. Reaching through the left fingertips. And then releasing hands down to frame right foot. Let's step back to down dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Always yogi's choice. Exhale, back into down dog. We'll stay here for an extra breath. Shake head no, shake head yes. Wiggle if you like. Bend knees. Whatever you need for your down dog. And then walking the feet forward, finding Uttanasana, forward fold. This time we'll clasp the elbows and gently sway the body from side to side. So you're just feeling yourself unwind. Coming back to center, softening those knees. Inhale, sweeping back up to mountain. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Once again, let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale, sweeping arms up to sky. As we exhale, let's hinge over to one side. Inhale, center. Exhale, hinge to the other side. Inhale, center. Right arm forward, left arm back. Rotate. Inhale, lift. This time, left arm forward, right arm back, feeling that rotation in spine. Come back to center. Exhale, hinge forward. And then this time, half lift to monkey. So flat back, long spine. We'll take those arms out to the side like a big letter T. Okay, so arms are out to the side. My knees are soft. I've not locked out my knees. Now, I'm going to take one arm up, one arm down. But they're just extensions of my shoulder. They're fixed. I'm a fixed wing airplane. Come back to center, and then switch sides. Good, come back to center. One more time on each side. Feel that rotation through the torso. It's not a big movement. I can move my arms, but that's not what's happening. They're fixed. Good. Come back to center. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bring those hands down to your heart center. Excellent. So if you have a block can be very handy for this next set of poses. If you don't have one, totally cool. You'll have options. Okay. So stepping to the front or to the front of your mat, let's step our left foot back. Only about 2/3 of the way on the mat. My hips are squared to the front. Bending my right knee, activating my left leg. I'll take my arms up and find my Vira 1, Warrior 1. So you can keep your arms extended. You can find cactus if that feels better for you. Arms are always just extensions. So if our hands were to stay at my hips, it actually gives me that reminder to anchor from hip down, lengthen from hip up. Draw belly to spine. And then from here, we'll take our hands, returning them to hips, straightening that right leg. So I'm going to tip at my hip, keeping my spine neutral. Just as we did in our cobra, my heart is lengthening forward and the back of my head is pressing to the sky, okay? So I'm moving toward my pyramid pose. Hands can rest on thigh, on shin, on block if you have it, or you can reach your hands back behind you, either extending through. You can do reverse namaste hands. Releasing hands down. Left hand either comes to block or mat, right hand to low back. We start to swivel right shoulder over left. Turn and gaze over right shoulder. And then you have the option of extending the fingertips of the right side to the sky. Draw belly button into spine. And then release hands down, bend knee, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up to mountain. Exhale, bring those hands down through heart center. Let's take that quick cleansing breath. Let's move on to the other side. So I'll step my right foot back this time, square hips. Bending left knee, activating right hamstring back. I find myself moving, returning to a warrior one. This side might feel tighter, it might feel looser, you never know. Cactus option arms or hands at hips. Everything from hip down is my anchor, everything from hip up is growing tall. When you're ready, return hands to hips, straighten left leg. Once again, tipping at hip, long spine, crown of the head lengthens, heart lengthens, back of the head presses to sky. Hands can rest anywhere that works for you. Finding your pyramid. Releasing the right hand down to block our mat. So we find our revolved triangle, left hand to low back. Starting to stack left shoulder over right. Left arm to sky. Pause here and breathe. And then release hands down to frame left foot. This time we'll step back to all fours. Tuck our toes under. Everybody's favorite, sit back for toe stretch. Hands to heart center. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, release hands down, rock forward, and wiggle out your toes. So we're going to spend a bit of time kneeling. We're going to do balancing half moon and revolve balancing half moon on our knees. So if you need extra padding under the knees, go ahead and grab it. One of the options is just to fold up part of your mat to kneel upon. So I'm not going to mirror you, so double check your left and right. I'm going to start here in all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm going to kickstand my left toes just off the side of my mat, so it just looks like a little kick off to the side. Extending the right leg back to the toes, stacking my hips open. So my right hip is on top of my left hip. I'm not very long from torso So I'm pretty close. My hand and knee is pretty close together. Right arm can lift to sky, and then if you want, right leg can extend back. Pressing either through the ball of the foot or the heel, it's really up to you. We're activating both glute muscles. We're extending opposite limbs. So my arms are reaching in opposite directions. And even though I'm not standing on my left leg, I'm engaging the inner thighs of both legs to keep my pose. So this is our kneeling, balancing half moon. We're going to release that right foot down, come up, and then take our right hand to hip, left arm up and over for gate pose. Releasing back down, returning to kneeling, balancing half moon. So I'm going to take my right hand down and extend through my left leg. My right hand stays planted as my left hand comes to low back. So you have the option of planting that right toe, if that feels better for you. Starting to swivel the spine, left arm lifts up to sky. So again, those toes can be down if that feels better, or if you get that deeper stretch. Good, releasing back down to all fours. We'll simply switch sides. So I'm going to turn my back to you for a moment. Kickstand my right toe off the mat. Extend left leg. Then I'll take my left arm to sky. Okay? So my left arm lifts up to the sky. If you want, you can press through the left foot as well. Think about all of those muscles. They're doing the same bit of work. Arms are extending, nice proud chest. Hips are open, inner thighs, glutes, pressing through ball of foot or heel. And then plant that left foot down, right arm comes up, left hand to hip, right arm up and over, gate pose. Releasing back down to all fours. My left leg is still extended. My left hand plants down. My right hand comes to low back. That toe can stay where it is. Starting to stack shoulders, right arm lifts to sky. So kneeling, revolve, balancing half moon. Again, if it feels better to post that toe, maybe you can get a deeper twist. Maybe you want to work on that core instead. So think about where you are in your practice, where you are in your body. And then release down. We'll do one more toe stretch just because it's so darn fun. Sitting back on those toes, hands heart center. Rocking forward, wiggling out those toes, tapping them out, shifting the legs to one side, coming to seated. So we're going to do one set of lying down poses. If you have a strap, you can grab it. We're not going to spend very much time here at all today. So lying ourselves back, we'll extend our legs up to the sky. And pressing my hips down into the mat, I'm just going to go skiing or ice skating along the ceiling. It's one of my favorite things to do for my hamstrings. It's because there's movement involved, and because I'm having to activate my core, even though I'm a little passive in my spine. I know my spine is neutral, but my hamstrings are waking up on their own. So each hamstring gets to work independently of the other. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Draw your knees to your armpits, soles of feet to sky for happy baby. You can rock side to side if you like. Coming back to center. You can extend those legs if you'd like. So draw the knees back into our chest. We're going to do a few knee circles just to massage that low back. Come back to center, other direction. And then hug right knee and extend left leg out. Let's just do a few ankle circles with that right foot, other direction. And then switch feet, switch legs. Returning both knees into chest, arms out to the side in a big T. We're just going to drop knees to one side, find a gentle twist. If you want to intensify the twist, you can straighten your legs. And then bend those knees, come back through center, drop to the other side, and extend. Bending the knees, returning to center. Take any final pose that your body might be asking for. And then start to set yourself up for Shavasana. So you're at home. Shavasana can last longer than this class. So if you want to, you can turn off your Zoom right now and you can just lie yourself back, maybe set a 30-minute timer and take your time. If you have a schedule that you need to keep, that's understandable too. So as you feel ready, finish up that second side if you're doing your own pose. And then begin to set yourself into Shavasana, corpse pose. Double check your body's alignment. Everything from the crown of the head down to the tips of the toes is perfectly aligned. So as we've taken this last hour to be selfish with our time, we've nourished our bodies, we've nourished our minds and our spirits. We've refilled our cup. Allow the body to release and relax. Let go of any thoughts, any to-do lists. As you move throughout the rest of your day, give yourself permission to return to your breath. For the remainder of our time together, I offer this mantra to you. So hum. S-O-H-U-M. It means I am. I am. As you inhale, hear the sound so. And as you exhale, hear the sound hum. So hum. As you feel ready, slowly begin wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rotating your wrists and ankles. And bending your knees and elbows. And then very slowly rolling over to your side. Just spend a moment like you do when you first wake up and the world is safe and happy. And there's no worry. Hold on to that feeling as you press yourself up to seated. Taking the hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Let's seal our yoga practice by joining together in 3 Oms. The light in me honors the light within you. Namaste.